Want to switch gears now and talk about the job market because employees seem to have the upper hand right now in this tight labor market where businesses, large and small, are struggling to find workers. So how are they sweetening the pot, and just what are potential workers looking for in their next job? Here to shed some light is AnnElizabeth Konkel, economist at Indeed Hiring Lab. AnnElizabeth, thanks for being with us. I know that you're seeing some trends in terms of job postings on Indeed. What are some of the most common incentives you're seeing employees offer?
So what we are seeing right now is that employers are increasingly offering hiring incentives. That can be anything from signing bonuses to retention bonuses to cash incentives. And just to give you, a stat about it, as of June 18th, 4.1% of job postings on Indeed were advertising these types of hiring incentives. And that's more than doubled than compared to last July when it was just 1.8%. So we're definitely seeing employers looking for ways to attract workers.
So AnnElizabeth, I think that, these hiring bonuses, these sign-on bonuses are pretty par for the course for some industries and some fields, and especially once you've reached a certain level in your career. Curious to know how that's changed, if perhaps we're seeing sign-on bonuses in fields where we would never have previously seen those kinds of perks, and if even folks that are perhaps more entry level are even receiving some of these financial and cash incentives now as well.
We're seeing hiring incentives used across a variety of sectors, whether it's dental, nursing, beauty, and wellness. Driving in itself, 16% of driving jobs on Indeed were offering hiring incentives. And so really the fact that there's this large swath of sectors offering really points to showing that many types of employers are really trying to figure out, how do we attract workers? And something that was particularly interesting was that only 3% of food service related jobs and 1.8% of hospitality related jobs were offering hiring incentives. That was a surprising finding, certainly, especially with all the hiring anecdotes we've heard from both of those sectors. I chalk it up to that some employers in those sectors probably don't have the budget right now to be offering a variety of those types of incentives, or they may simply be holding out and hoping that they get that flood of workers soon in the next few weeks.
I'm curious what job seekers are prioritizing right now when they're looking for a job. What are some of their searches telling you?
So I took a look at what job seekers were looking at around hiring incentives, and they are definitely looking for sign-on bonuses. Job searches for hiring incentives has spiked compared to the beginning of this year. It's up 134%. And it just shows that some job seekers are able to, have a little wiggle room and be able to shop around a little bit more. And it really does showcase that the labor market is recovering, and that at least a fraction of job seekers are able to, figure out what is best for them and maybe not take the first opportunity that they see.
Is there an average signing bonus? I'm sure it varies between sectors, from sector to sector, but, just offering one may not be enough. Is there a good signing bonus? What should somebody be looking for in terms of money?
So there's incredible differentiation by sector. That makes sense, both by sector, but also within a sector, there's a variety of different types of jobs, different geographic locations. But that was a particularly surprising finding, was that, even within one sector, such as nursing, bonuses, all these different types of incentives range from $100 to $30,000. That is an incredible range, and just goes to show that, some employers are, maybe kind of trying to sweeten the pot a little bit, and others are throwing everything at the wall to see what sticks.
AnnElizabeth, I just wanted to ask you really quickly, we're talking a lot about these bonuses. Curious to know what you've seen, at least in terms of the salary, and if you're starting to see employers offer higher and higher salaries as well in the hopes to lure some of those workers back to the workplace.
That is something that we are certainly tracking very closely at Hiring Lab. It is not something that we have, definitively seen yet, but definitely something we're keeping our eye on.